Coming to you live from an upload speed of 1.17 megabytes per second. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
Welcome to the 249th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. Oh, I fucked it up, Matty.
Restart it.
No, all right.
Coming to you live from an upload speed of 1.17 megabytes per second. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day and welcome to the 249th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. As per every week, I'm Log Power Slave, joined by my son, who I'm immensely proud of, Mylan Games. How you going, buddy?
If you just tuned in, that was a first time take. Easy game.
Easy game for babies. No, look, much like your YouTube video that goes up, that went up today entirely unedited, I can assure you that will be in there for everyone.
Right, we got caught out on that one.
I
am
done it in the past. Shit happens.
I bleed Titan. That's who I am now.
I'm proud of you. Unspeakably proud. Brings a tear to my eye. I'm that, you know, that gif that everyone uses, that guy that's like crying and proud. That's me.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, on hard content, it's hard to get in people's faces and punch.
It's what I'm worried about tomorrow. I mean, not that I'm not even waking up early or anything like that. But
I think
it'll be the hard part of it. It'll be
Yeah, because like with normal content, the Titan Void is so fun. You basically just yeet yourself at enemies and then just keep punching. Everything explodes. But I
think
not so much. I don't think in the.
I mean, my concern with it is that everything I've got is based around picking up wells, right? Like,
yes,
I've made this ridiculous build where, you know, if I pick up a well, I get volatile rounds, I get like void damage, I get like, you know, all of the good things. But I've got to survive for long enough to be able to do anything with it. So that might be the devil in the detail.
Have you ever used those little wells that go after you?
The seeker wells. I put them on this morning. So you can hide like a wuss, still get your wells, which I'm hoping pans out for me.
They don't go that far, though, do they?
Yeah, it's like 20 in game. You know what? I can never get my head around where it says 20 meters, and it's like a fucking video game. Like what? I've got no depth perception in Destiny. When you meant to get out fucking Darcy and have a look, like how do you know? Just show me a fucking radius or something.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, look. How's your prep going? That's probably the most important thing because we're going to dive into talking about the raid in a minute.
Prep to do.
In terms of what? That's like a little bit late
I mean,
now.
I'm at level, but I just got to infuse all my guns and stuff like that and just clean my vault out and just have a couple different loadouts ready, you know?
Yeah, you got to do that. We typically left it till the absolute last minute to try and pull a team together, like me and Senshi and Sass.
Wait, do you have a team?
No. Nah.
Oh.
And then Senshi, being the bloke that he is, one of the TA boys had to pull out because he's crook. He's gone to hospital and he was, you know, everyone's a bit upset and he felt like he'd left the team down. So he sent Senshi on his way to go and join the TA team. He's going to go in his stead because me and Sass can't be asked getting up really early.
He'll be so happy about that.
He is. He's, you know, like when he gives Senshi an opportunity to not only do the right thing, but put his shoulder to the grindstone and work. He, I don't know. I swear that like, he's got like border collie DNA in him. He just
wants to work.
Just wants to work. Wants a task. Wants something to put his shoulder up against and fucking push. I don't know. He messaged me this morning. He was like apologetic. Oh, sorry, man, because we were planning on pulling together a team last minute, and I was just, no, go and do it, man. Go and do it.
Dude, you should have played it up. You said like you've completely ruined my whole Witch Queen experience. I can't believe you've done this.
I wouldn't do that to him. He's too fucking nice.
Yeah, he's too nice. You're like, I can't believe you've done this.
It's like kicking a puppy. I just you just can't do it. You just can't do it. So I don't know. I mean, my plan's probably a little bit different. I'm going to get up, just when I wake up in the morning, and I'm going to kind of chill. I'm going to try not to spoil myself. But I always sit on the fence with this kind of shit because, like, historically, I've never bothered about jumping in and trying to be there. But we had so much fun with it last year, and now you've betrayed us, and you're doing it with the DCP, and that's fair enough. But like we had a good time with it. So I kind of want to recapture that, but I know that we probably won't because, like, to be perfectly honest, if I drink 24 beers or whatever it was in a morning, again, I'll probably be divorced and half of the shit in this room will be gone. So
you reckon maybe you should try tune into the maybe you should get up at a leisurely pace and put on the raid race Bungie stream.
I probably will. I mean, I know there's a tailgate. I'm not sure if Ain't's doing his thing again this year, but that was where I sat for Vogue, I think, and sort of watched
I think
Brogan's
doing a tailgate, but also I think Bungie's doing an actual one too.
That's pretty massive. I mean,
I think it's in a TWAB. I think that's what we're going to talk about.
All right, we'll cover it off. I mean, I did scan read the TWAB. I try not to, don't want to get too many spoilers for that either. It's I don't know. It's exciting times, but my plan, right? And I know that the purists will hate me for this, but because I'm a man that has a family, I'm going to wake up at a normal time and not make myself tired, and then I'm going to watch. Or at least run with someone who knows how to beat the encounters so that if we get in there and we get stuck, then we can fucking know how to beat them rather than bang our head against a brick wall. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
That is a weak effort. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it'd upset you, but I reckon there's a fair chance.
Why?
Because
why don't you try Solvits? You don't care anymore.
No, not really. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, but you can only do it once. Once you've had it ruined for you, it's done.
Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe it's just that I'm not actually worried about the race or anything like that. That I don't. I've never put any, any of my own personal status into worrying about how I do in the raid race. I said the Wade race. Race. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm mainly sitting on the sidelines, barracking for like you and the TA boys and all of them. So. While I'm asleep at the same time. I just wish it wasn't 4 a.m. Like, fucking brutal.
Dude, stop complaining. 4 a.m. would be a fucking pleasure.
Matt, you're a weirdo who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you're a fucking content creator. Your opinions on when to wake up are atypical. Man gets the ultimate job for being lazy, still gets up before the sun. What the fuck?
That was a pretty good sentence. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So, in the bin with your opinions. Right. Anyway, moving on. We will talk.
In the bin.
In the bin. Shut up in your face. Right. What else? So, you're running with the DCP crew. Who's your team? Yeah. It's important. We need to get through this.
Teft, Fran, Dimitri, Jason Upton.
You've pulled in a fair super sub there. I didn't know Jay was in it.
Dude, mate. Look, don't tell them, but I'm probably the weakest link in the group. I am the weakest link in the group.
It depends.
But that's what makes a good story because I might get my hero moment and everyone is going to have to go, you know what? He's done it. And I had that in Bife's group too. I solved Templar Challenge. That's the strat that is used today, and I did it day one, no help, huge brain. I was like, you know what? Let's all grab an oracle and rotate. And I'm like, you know what, Matt? You have got a big brain. And that's now the strat.
You can do it. I believe in you. You will. Are you going to drink fucking teapot mojitos or you?
I did promise I'd have teapot mojitos, so that might affect my ability.
Yeah. See, does everyone else know that, like, understand what that means, or have you like gone around and apologized to everyone in this group in advance for? Like, not only are they going to they might as well 5-man it because you'll be a belligerent anchor before.
You know what? I might have to settle on the teapot mojitos. I might have to not go too hard on them. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Obviously, the one thing that we do need to touch on, being Australians, is that Shane Warne passed away overnight. Absolute god of cricket, god of basically.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know this?
No.
Yeah, 52 years old. So
Shane Warne died.
Yep. Sorry, Manny. I thought you would have.
Fucking hell.
You're on the internet quite a bit. I thought you would have encountered it. An apparent heart attack.
Fucking hell.
I'm sorry if I'm breaking that news to you, but I feel like, we paid tribute to fucking Meatloaf a couple of weeks back. Shane Warne, in the lens of everything we are on this podcast, is pretty immense in terms of, an exponent of our culture, and to be honest, just being a bit of a wag. So we'll be sorely missed, no doubt, and a massive loss for cricket in Australia and the world. So anyway, we'll move on. We won't dwell on it, but sad news. All right. Do we want to hit the twab? Because I've got so much shit I want to pick your brain about, and I know that's scary.
Yeah, go on.
So we'll get through the twab, and then we'll talk about the Matt's musical fucking Saturday morning. All right. All right, this week at Bungie, it's all about Vow of the Disciple, world's first race. How long has the name of the raid been out there? Have I just managed to miss it up until now, or was it kind of secret?
No, it was updated on the website, but if you never went to the website and looked at like the little promo for Witch Queen, you didn't see it. This is the first time it's like
been here in your eyes.
Front and center. Yeah, correct.
Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to load up the page. I'm going to load up the page for the fucking raid just because I want to tell you the thing that I am most excited about is just the general aesthetic of it.
Oh, sorry. It was in the Triumphs.
Oh, I didn't look. Not looking ahead. Right. Yeah. Never mind. The page is doesn't have actual pictures on it. I think they're in the top, maybe. Anyway, the trailer. Fucking scattered today. Anyway, it seems to be along the lines of the new strike. What's the sort of Aztec-y themed new strike? I can't think of the name.
Yeah, the for the worm god, the worm launcher.
Yeah,
that you'd have to do. Birth of a vile place or something.
Birthplace of the
Birth
Vile.
Of the Vile?
Yeah.
Birthplace of the Vile?
So
Worm Factory.
Yeah, I'm stoked with it. I just think that aesthetic, the like black fucking sort of, I don't know, Incan kind of South American.
Yeah.
Thing.
I got Aztec vibes from it too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether that's culturally I'm on point or not. But that's sort of like as a layman, fucking that's the vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibes I got. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be stunning in terms of visual, in the visual domain. But
yeah, that's a dark city apparently. Like I didn't realize you go through a teleporter to get there, inside the pyramid ship.
So I think we're going to go through another teleporter, and we're going to end up wherever this raid takes place. And I assume that we're going to
sort of dark city.
Yeah, we'll be in the dark city, and we'll be tracking down whoever the disciple is.
Well, I assume we got to go into the. It's inside the pyramid, but I assume we'll go in the pyramid. Maybe the first encounter or second will be like in the pyramid itself, and then we'll end up going to like a dark sort of city area.
I hope so. That sounds fucking rad, right? All right, let's just quickly blast through what you need to know if you plan on doing the raid race, and then we can theorize about what we think we're going to encounter in this. in the Apocalypto raid. That's terrifying but apt. All right, so if you're new to Destiny and you are yet to engage in a raid, this is the pinnacle of our endgame content. Players around the world are challenged to compete, decoding devious puzzles while engaging with heavy combat through multiple activity encounters. We're not just talking about a few enemies here and there, but hordes of combatants clawing away at lives and time while players race to the finish line. We expect no different from Vow of the Disciple, with multiple teams at the final boss trading attempts to reach victory. That would be, I don't know, we haven't really not had that be the situation yet in a raid race, right? Like no one's managed to get to the final boss and then defeat them before it was really close. The rules of the raid race. The world first raid race of Vow of the Disciple will take place in contest mode, which has been an incredibly important addition to Destiny raid races over the last couple of years. This is a unique variant of the raid only offered in the first 24 hours, capping every Guardian at a specific power level to ensure an even playing field. We announced last week that the power will be 1530, as this is the highest power your Guardian will perform against against the enemies you face, right? Jesus. So look, if you can get to 1530 and you can
1530, but 1530, but make sure your weapons are at least infused to 1530.
Yeah, for sure. Well, why?
Like
doesn't like the way you interact with the world go off just your base power level?
I don't know. Someone smarter than me can explain it, but let's say you're running 1520 weapons and your artifacts and your armor somehow is bumping you above, or let's say you swap weapons out and you're still above overall 1530, but your weapon's under, I do believe it impacts damage.
Shit, I didn't know that. I thought it just went off like your overall power. Okay. There you go,
just
kids.
Make sure your weapons
are
1530. Yeah.
You shouldn't be too short of infusion fuel. There's plenty of sources to go out and get.
Incoming damage is total power level. Weapon damage also depends on individual gun power.
Ooh, okay. All right. So
it'll be capped at 1530, but just make sure your weapons are at 1530.
All right, 1530, because if they're 1520, they'll be delted down. Fair enough. Vow of the Disciple race timeline. So it starts Saturday, March 5th, 10 a.m. or 4 a.m. Sunday morning in Australia. And it ends
1 a.m.
24
per
hours later.
time.
Oh, look, you at the house to yourself all weekend. You'll be asleep half an hour after this podcast wraps up. I know what you're like.
True.
All right, contest mode. Here's the deets on contest mode. Contest mode will cap players at 20 power below each encounter for the raid for the full 24 hours of the raid race. So basically, no matter what you do, you're going to be 20 under the power level of that content, which will mean that it'll be pretty fucking spicy, right? I'm trying to think of what to immediately compare it to.
Well, we just did a hard dungeon, Grasp of Avarice, to have a bit of a practice, and that was 40 under. It was still possible. It was really hard. I'm pretty sure you could probably go do some lost sectors at the moment and
simulate the difficulty.
Master lost sectors will give you. Master lost is a bit rough though, because you got burns and stuff, which really scale it a bit differently. Yeah.
Same with Nightfalls. It's not really a literal, like you can't directly compare them either. And there's probably a difficulty level.
Maybe the campaign is probably the easiest way to do it. Replay one of the missions in the campaign.
Yeah, like legendary, maybe. Okay.
Legendary campaign.
Fair enough. There's definitely no way you can simulate it in a 6-man activity unless you want to.
Is legendary campaign 20 under?
I'm not sure. Might have to go back and have a look. So artifact power is enabled. So that's a big one. There was a lot of and ahhing about that leading into it, but I think it's fine for artifact power to be in there. I think it makes it easier for people to get more bits of gear to that level. So yeah, you want to be 1530 to be able to be at the contest level for every encounter going through. I assume that it'll ramp up as it goes, and 1530 will be probably the final encounter.
And 1550 boss. Yeah,
you're definitely going to want to be there for that. You don't want to be the dude who's like, I need to go back to the tower midway through. Might be a good thing to do.
Get your infusion calls where they are.
We're going to talk about the naughty gear that's been disabled for this activity.
Can you do it like a soccer coach cutting kids off their football team?
Right. Some gear items will be disabled in the raid for the duration of contest mode due to the general issues that provide gameplay benefits. While these items may be used in other activities, perks and functionality on the following items will be nullified within the Vow of the Disciple raid, with additional negative impacts to power levels if equipped. So you're going to cop a whack on the bum if you even try and take him in there.
It's like,
take the spicy gear in.
You cut.
Ikelos, get out.
You
get out.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Imperial Needle, get out. What is it? What did Imperial Needle even do wrong? I don't know about that one.
I believe both Kalos and the Legendary Bow got the increased buff that Exotic's got, so it's just 40% extra damage.
Ah, right. Very good. Grand Overture, Exotic Machine Gun. That's the new one, isn't it?
Yep.
New one, disabled straight away. Get out. You've been around for a week. Piss off.
Yep.
Wardcliffe Coil, the perennial fucking problem child of 1,000 rockets. Get out.
No,
right.
you know what? It wasn't. It was actually a good little rocket launcher. I'm pretty sure the Exotic, the Grand Overture fucked it up because they shoot the same type of bullets and they accidentally buff.
Oh, right. Okay.
Apparently there was like a inherent debuff on Wardcliffe Coil against bosses.
Yeah. Okay.
And when they added the machine gun, it got removed. So now like it shreds.
Oof. I mean, I guess it's a good thing if you want to do it later in the week. This is your loadout, basically, if you want to jump in later in the week and fucking rip through it.
Dude, Telesto's just literally looking the other way. Like the coach is going, you cut. And Telesto's just like...
Telesto's hiding under a bench. Doesn't want to make direct eye contact with anyone for fear of getting fucking added to the list. Yeah? It's just fun.
Yup.
All right. Armor and mods. Worm God cares. Worm God Caress. Titan exotic gauntlets. They've been a fucking issue for a while. Peregrine Greaves, because 1-2 punch is fucking insane with it. And the suppressing glaive artifact, making hunters useless in the raid.
You know what? You say that. That.
Look, I'm teasing. I know that they're pretty strong in the right hands.
I know you're teasing because when we were just doing Grasp of Avarice, 40 under.
Yep.
Watching Watts go invisible and her survivability was pretty nutty. And how much DPS fucking that tether does.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd have no idea because I haven't played on a hunter for ages, but I know that, like, when everyone was upset that hunters were on the wrong end of the stick, there was a couple of people who whose opinion I really trust going, yeah, you just wait. It won't pan out that way. It'll be fine. It's just people haven't thought about the way to do it. Ninja was one of them, definitely like very early on going, nah, just wait. There will be things that are in there that are fucking borderline broken. And sure enough, they're very, very strong if you use them the right way. Not that I'll pretend to understand the nuance of that. So rock and roll. So the first team that completes all encounters, loots the final chest and returns to orbit will earn the title of World's First, and they'll get a ripping raid belt. I mean, it looks like the classic bloody Destiny raid belt, doesn't it? Let's load it up. Look at that. It's very gold. Good. And that's about it. Oh, hang on. We need to go through the emblems. Now, I'm not much for emblems. I'm not motivated by emblems in the frothing sociopathic mental way that there's a lot of people in this community are. That'll just, if you've got an emblem, they will DM you into fucking oblivion, right?
Yeah, true.
But this looks good. Like, I don't know that it's going to get me to take Darkest Day off, but I still want it. So we'll have a crack at that. And down a little bit further. Oh, here's the raid jacket. Check out this pattern.
The raid jacket looks good too.
Check out this fucking pattern on the inside. I don't know. Look, I'm pretty sure I've had this conversation before. There is no point in my life at any time where I will ever need a jacket like that.
Because you don't go camping, do you?
I do, but I don't go camping when it's fucking cold.
Well, I do.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I just think we need to move on from raid jackets and make fucking raid track pants or something. How many fucking jackets
nobody
do people
wants your stupid track pants and singlets, okay? Jackets.
Everyone needs fucking 7 jackets. Fuck me. No one needs more than 1 jacket. How about that? Raid Speedos. Raid Leotard. These are all great ideas. Please keep them coming. Like, I don't care. Give me a raid cutlery set. Who fucking gives a shit? Just not more jackets. Raid hoodie.
I swear to God.
I mean, it's kind of like the half measure to bloody jackets, isn't it?
Log.
What?
If Australians get raid budgie smugglers, I'm coming to your house and punching you. Okay.
You'll have to. I'll be like lathered in sun cream, right? Wearing the budgie smugglers.
In flip flops running around.
Yeah, and you'll have to try and track me down, and you won't be able to grab me because you'll fucking slip off. I'll be greased in sun cream.
Oh, shit.
In the fucking raid.
Raid songs.
In the raid, double pluggers and speedos, T-posing for dominance on the driveway to welcome Myland Games and scare the shit out of all my neighbours. Anyway, enough garbage. The raid pin seal. Here we go. Have a look at this. I mean, it's got a pyramid on it. It's got a pyramid that's kind of cut off at the edges, but we'll forgive them that. It's pretty good. And here's the seal. We've probably seen that in game already, haven't we? What? Season no pin again?
Do you see what I'm seeing?
Is it a map? What? Where? What? How? Very good.
Okay, that was a revelation for me, but
yeah, not for me.
okay.
And then we've got the Pink Floyd emblem that everyone gets if you finish the raid. So rock and roll, you can jump in and grab that. Happy days. It does. I really like that one, and I'm trying to like work out whether there's a deeper meaning to it, right? Yeah, I mean, I know that, but whether or not it's applied to Destiny, you know, because it's coming from darkness and combining to make white light, and there's probably 3 of the colors on that spectrum are like void powers. Well, there's void, there's solar, there's arc, purple, blue, orange. Well, I don't know. I'm just having a think. Just let me think.
As light, which is Guardians, pass through the pyramid ship, which is on there, will become a rainbow.
Man, you go to orbit right now. Go anywhere with a group of 6 Guardians. It's already a fucking rainbow.
It's true.
It's already fucking there. We don't need any more ways to become a rainbow. We live there already. All right. So, look, I don't know. We know the name.
Oh, Ed's actually had a good thought. It's going to break the light into its spectrum.
Break it down into the spectrum. But that's what I'm getting at. I'm like, is that what it's doing? Is that just a very, Destiny figurative way of, here we are. Let's have a look again. I think it's have an even bigger look. Holy shit. Enhance. I don't think it's the single tile I'm not much chop on, but the big extended version is nuts, like the header version of your character. Yeah, I really like it. So I mean, maybe that's what we're going to see. Maybe the breaking of the light will occur. Enhance. All right. So, have you got any suspicions as to what this all means from here on in? Because we normally do this where we make fuckwits of ourselves by putting our cock on the block and making bold, sweeping claims about this is what the raid's going to be about, and being almost fucking like we sure as fuck didn't see Taniks coming in Deepstone Crypts.
No.
I don't think anyone did.
If I can have 2 predictions, I'm going to say Callus or a Worm God.
In what way?
Well, you know the theory about Callus.
Yeah. Well,
He'll be a disciple. He'll be a disciple.
Personally, I reckon Callus is the disciple.
He's a disciple. He's one of the disciples, I would say. The only reason I say Worm God is just because of how much they're bringing back this worm factory, and I feel like it's missing a linking. It's missing a link, because you see that in the campaign it was all a lie, right? And the witness talks through the worms.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yep.
I'm like, okay, so we know there's a worm factory. Did they manufacture these worms and then like plant them on the fundament to speak through them, or were the worms like independent and they sort of got taken over by the witness and they made this factory to make more of them? Like,
Yeah, they harness their kind of ability.
yeah, and if you gave some lore around a big mama worm, like a worm god, that might fill in the blanks. Like, yes, we were creations by the witness to represent the darkness. La 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 la. That would fill in the gap.
I do appreciate everyone that's been out there guessing that Tanix with light, Tanix as resurrected by the Traveler, will be the final boss. And as much as I would love to see it, I think it might take away. Maybe he's a sub boss. Maybe he's like a middle of the raid boss. Tanix risen by
honestly think
half a tank.
I think like Randall the Vandal, they should put Easter eggs for Tanix in like every raid from now on. Like he doesn't have to be in it, but like maybe like a light tank with the Tanix boss like floating in there.
Maybe, yeah.
Or like
he's there, like they've found him, they're waiting to, thaw him out and put a worm in him or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Or like grab part of his like Shank's like body or something. Just put some of those fragments like in there somewhere, hook them together.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, look, I can only hope that we get a character reveal that was as powerful as Tanix before the Atrax fight, because that was probably like the moment. Oh shit! Because I mean, I didn't even know who it was, and I remember you yelling at me, "It's fucking Tanix! Why is he back? What the fuck?" I'm like, I don't know. He ran off. Don't worry about it. All right, so I reckon, genuinely, my take is that Callus will be in this raid, because I feel like we've taken some massive steps forward in terms of like the narrative leap and all of that sort of stuff, and we're getting towards telling a new story, which is that of the witness, which, obviously is still rooted in the stories we've been hearing, but I think Callus's sort of breadcrumb trail of his journey, like, it really only leads to one place, and that's closer to the witness, right? Like that's always been the case. So who else do we know?
They wouldn't need any setup for it. Like all the setup's done.
He'd just be, well, I pledged myself to the witness. Cool, here I am, and I'm fat.
Honestly, I'll lose my shit. I'll lose my shit if it happens.
I'll love it, but
I'll lose my shit.
I also think that there's a chance that we'll probably not get that, and we'll get something new that'll fill out sort of who the witness is and what they're about as well. So I think, like, in that vein, maybe a worm god would be.
What about Imaru?
If I get into the raid and I have to listen to that fuckwit carry on, I'll be filthy.
God. You know what? I think Imaru's going to stay with the evidence board, and that's going to be that. I
think he's sort of like an aside character with the patrol shit and whatever else goes on Throne World. He's sort of like, maybe as we get towards the end of this content release, we'll deal with him. And I don't mean this season. I mean like in a year's time. I think Amaru is kind of like, because anyone coming to Witch Queen in 3 or 4 months' time is still going to have to, that patrol dialogue and everything is still there. So I think that's he'll just stay. I think that's his role in it. I desperately don't want him to be in the raid though. He's so grating as a character.
No, you're wrong. He's great.
No, look, we agree on the worm. Wrong. We agree on the worm. Amaru,
like the worm?
Amaru is just, I think he breaks it.
Oh, how funny is that quote? Pain! Pain!
Yeah, look, they could put that. That could be just that we have to kill the baby worm with its own grub launcher. Let's do that. Well, he's not really a baby worm, is he? He's just small. He's very old.
He's small.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'm hoping for Callus.
Deception Queen.
Deception Queen. All right. So, what else is in the top? Let's quickly round this out before we talk a little bit about Matt's adventures on a fucking keyboard this morning.
Oh God.
All right. Wellspring weapon drop rates. They'll be increasing the drop chances for both standard and deep sight resonant versions of weapons. Patch next Thursday. So rock and roll. If you've been trying to grind them out, which I had a brief crack at, and then I realized that it was stupid and I was spending a lot of time on it, and that I would almost certainly buff it. So I stopped. So if you're in that position, probably do the same. Ascendant Alloys, I got fucked over by Rahul. I can't I can't buy another one from him, so I've had to grind story missions to get mine, which is not
I've
been
been
great.
told
Oh.
his refresh depends on when you bought it, not actual reset day.
So I might actually be able to buy one like tonight, I think, because I bought one off like on Saturday night or some shit.
Potentially, yeah.
Mm.
Because mine's not active yet either, so I have to see when I bought mine.
It is what it is. I ground out the Ascendant.
Some people say it's not true. Okay.
Okay,
I don't know.
so
That's all. I heard a rumor mill. So
that worm is like Gilbert Gottfried, fucking Zazu from yeah, he is in a way. And there's some notes here on Gambit tuning. I haven't played that much Gambit. I didn't particularly enjoy what I did play. It's pretty. I don't know. I feel like you're just being fucking perennially invaded. Like I thought the purpose of it was to get away with so much get away from so much invasion, but
I think it's the invasion when you got your primeval right, and then everyone's coming through with like basically galleys and
and everyone already there has their heavy weapons, and it becomes a decision of whether or not you use them to deal with the invader or whether you use them to deal with the fucking primeval, and it's kind of a mess. So interested to see how it fares after they give it a bit. I'm
gonna tell you my completely unreasonable solution, but would just be, I think, amazing.
Okay. Sell it to me.
Okay?
Yes.
To invade, it costs you motes, right? It's also time.
I instantly like this.
So when the portal opens, and then to enter, it's going to cost you 5, 10, or 15 motes. If you put 5 motes in, you spawn in as a thrall. I'm talking zombie mode. You're a thrall, and you run around, and you just got melee. Okay? You can hide everywhere where you want. You're a thrall. Yep. 10, you're a knight. Right? You got a block, completely different animations. Sword.
Just
you're a knight.
Get around
15,
stomping. Just stomping.
Big old ogre, left click, eyeball beam. That's why it's always balanced.
I love the idea of spawning in as an ogre and just yelling out and carrying on and eyeball beaming everyone. I think that's great. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I will say this. The when we had a few weeks back before Witch Queen dropped, and they talked about the changes coming to Gambit, and they said that they're going to basically do a Gambit Labs later in the season, and they'll do the moat thief. Like one where the thief, the invader comes in, and their objective is to survive, to steal moats rather than like get in and kill. I think that is going to change Gambit up. I think people will really enjoy that. Either that or they'll absolutely fucking hate it because people will be really good at hiding. But I like like you've got 4 people on one side all looking for one person, not because they're worried about being killed, but because they have to kill them or their moats get trained. I think it's cool. There's also some Prime Gaming rewards if you're into that kind of thing. What have we got? Got some skins, a push bike, and a transmat. What's that? Is that a ghost effect or a transmat effect? Whatever. I don't know. I don't do it. Very good. But yeah, look, a hard light ornament. What's lethal system? What's that for? Yeah, cool. It's obviously a gun we use all the fucking time. Yay! All right, cool. Well, that's basically the 12. Maddie,
apparently hard light's pretty good.
Well, I mean, hard light's
always
rounds. It's ooh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that got you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I've been mucking around with my favorite gun ever, my Gnawing Hunger from like 700 years ago, and it's pretty nasty with volatile rounds because I've got Rampage on it as well. It goes pretty fucking hard. I don't have a subsistence Rampage build for it, which is probably the only thing letting it down.
I might have to get
you get a decent funnel?
Too.
Did you end up getting a decent funnel whip?
No, I didn't get the subsistence frenzy, but I've got adrenaline junkie on it, and like my whole build is just ability spam, so adrenaline junkie's not bad.
If I had the choice, I've got subsistence frenzy, but I would have gone subsistence adrenaline junkie if given the choice between the two, because I think that build, the build that we're both using effectively the same build, just fucking spamming the shit out of Titan abilities. It
I've got a subsistence demo on my gnawing hunger.
what's demolition is to get your nade back.
Yeah, and reload on nade throws.
That's, I mean, look, it's everything's on the table, right? Like, if it works, it works. You're gonna find out pretty quick if it works or not in the raid, I think. So, all right. Do you want to talk law boy?
No.
Okay. All right. Anyway, see you next week.
That's it. Anyway, so Martian Missives is a law book. It's a law book, and essentially
Witch Queen law book. Obviously, I haven't.
Witch Queen law book.
I haven't really looked at the law books yet.
Yeah.
So.
It's called Martian Missives, and if you start reading it, you're like, holy shit, Osiris is actually dead. Because there's one in there that says, Kydal says, I found Osiris's body, and he's proper dead. I don't know who you got, but he's dead. So is my mic okay? Is it doing funny stuff?
I can hear you fine.
Right. Turns out most of those entries are a lie because they're actually written by Savathun, and Eris in the last entry says to look for any oddities in the writing. And one of the things that really stands out is there's like double spacing every now and then in paragraphs. And they're a lot easier to like not notice. But the other thing that's really noticeable is some numbers that are just randomly put in there. And like Cade 8 rather than Cade 6. You're like, okay. So if you go and take all these numbers and letters, it gives you a 16 number, letter, digit, hexadecimal code, which you can then put against musical notes. And when you play them in order, according to the codes, you get Savathun's song. You get the first section of Savathun's song that we're used to.
Yep.
And then you get the new Witch Queen one. So it's like Savathun's song is still kicking around.
It's interesting. It's like that, the second part of that refrain, do you think that's meant to be written as a separate piece? Because it kind of resolves, like the thing that always shit me off about Savathun's songs, it finishes on like an unresolved note. Like it's a, it never sounded to me like a complete piece of music, but.
They changed that note, right? They changed the last bit of it to then lead into Witch Queen.
I'm not sure. I didn't watch it close enough, but it always kind of did. It always.
The original Savathun song, the last note's different compared to this one.
Yeah,
now,
right. I'll have to
which I think
take a look.
leads into.
But I think it's.
Use your big old music brain.
Potato brain. I'll look. Watching you fumble around on a fucking web-based MIDI keyboard was pretty glorious this morning, if I'm honest.
When I accidentally played Savathun's song on the online keyboard, that did make me happy.
I think you got there in the end. I was kind of proud. You were. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah. No worries. And like, do you understand at all what sharps and stuff? Yeah, right.
No.
You know those little black keys?
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a hash, like the hash.
Sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
All the music professors in Discord were getting so angry that they just did it on their pianos and sent it to me in Discord.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good. I was just sort of sitting here minding the kids going, oh, and then I jumped on and whipped up a kind of whipped up a mock-up of it and flicked it through.
This is one of the things they said, like it's sharps and flats. And I said to them, well, how can it be both sharp and flat? That's fucked. Make it one or the other. You don't give it both.
I call everything sharps because that's the way I break it down. But a sharp is a flat. Like
no, I mean that makes zero sense.
They're the same note. They're the same note. Like
well, then give it one name then.
A D flat and a C sharp.
Give it one name then.
D flat and a C sharp are the same note. There you go, kids. You only need to learn half as many notes if you just give up on flats, because flats are crap. Just sharps. Very cool. All right, what other law you got? What else did you do this week, law boy?
Oh, we had the prison stuff.
Go for it.
Or did you play it?
I've played the Season of the Risen stuff, but I did
Pretty
it.
heavy, huh?
Well, I don't know. It wasn't really.
See, I watched your stream. I was like, he hasn't picked up yet. He hasn't picked up what's going on here.
I mean, I was mainly just annoyed at Crow, right?
Yeah, see, I was like, fuck you, Log. You're committing a fucking war crime right now. Crow's in the right. Saladin's like torturing people.
They're not people.
This is why it's heavy. This is why it's heavy.
Look, is it morbid? Yes, but I don't know. I mean, it's just we're gonna split the podcast in half.
Read the books of sorrow. They are people. They were going to be picked by the light. They got tricked.
What do you mean? You talk about Hive.
Did you play the campaign at all?
Yeah, I mean, I did.
So the whole thing was the Traveler wasn't there to destroy them. It was there to pick them. It was there to revive them.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
I
there
get
to
that.
embrace them.
Yeah, but then like,
so what's the difference between Hive and Guardians?
Yeah, well, when you put it like that, I'm
Nothing.
a bit of a cunt.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just mainly it was overshadowed by fucking the Crow, who I don't particularly like, carrying on, and I think that like there is definite. To be honest, the thing that blindsided me the most was the Inkblot cutscene of Saladin trying to do the right thing and getting fucked over by it. So I think the real lesson here is, and the ultimate theme is that, you know, there's probably no right way to go about the situation we're put in. So, yeah, I don't know.
My interpretation is, in times of war, this is what Saladin's saying. In times of war, there's no place for mercy for your enemy. Because if you show your enemy mercy in any which way, it will come back to backfire.
Yeah, and maybe that's his lesson and he can understand how he learned it out of that. But I also understand that that's not necessarily the way it is. I don't know. I mean, look, I probably didn't step back far enough to think about the actual... Like, I was just like, yeah, they're fucking Hive. We've been killing them, like, indiscriminately for 7 years. Like, we've all killed fucking thousands of them without giving it a second thought. And now, all of a sudden, we're sitting here going, but it's wrong because you're torturing them a bit. We're like, our Guardian has laid waste to entire fucking populations of just about every subspecies of creature that there is.
This is why it's deep, though, because if you apply the same logic to humans going to war, there is code to war, and you can go kill someone, and it's okay, but you can't take someone captive and torture them.
Yeah, of course not.
There's rules against that. So that's the point, right? So,
and like, if to put the shoe on the other foot, if it was Fallen, for instance, I would have very strong feelings about it in the opposite direction, right? Because they've done that work to humanize them, right? Like, so maybe it's just simply that the Hive have been sort of an unknowable race of what look like fucking zombies for 7 years, and then they're like, we're going to torture them. And I'm like, well, they eat fucking bones. like, I didn't think there was all that much there to torture, to be perfectly honest. Like, so
yeah,
I didn't particularly give it a second thought.
I guess Crow believes that it is painful, that because when he had his mind bent by Savathun, it was painful.
Okay.
And Saladin saying, nah, it's not.
I think either way, it's like messing with someone's fucking brain isn't particularly on the cards, right? I mean, well, look at it this way: we're being allowed to do it in the game. So...
Yeah, but this is what Bungie does, though, right? They grab something and they put a veil of space. This is what
a very
do.
topical issue. Yeah.
They did it with space races with Lakshmi, okay?
True.
And everyone who just wanted to escapism and not be confronted in the video games go, no, it's a video game. You're looking too deep, right? And everyone else could be like, well, you know, people wrote this game, and guess what? It's based on shit that's happened in our world, and that's where they get these ideas from. They didn't just make it up. The idea of extracting intelligence from an enemy that through potentially harmful means is torture.
Yeah. Look, you can't argue that.
Okay,
It's black and white.
And that's what Crow is arguing, that
Yeah.
this will be painful. And Saturn's like, no, we don't know it's painful. They're mindless zombies. It's not painful.
But are they?
We don't know. I
think that's my issue, is that I fell on one very I'm like, what's there? I thought they were all sort of like controlled largely by the tithing and all of that, and that they didn't really have any free thought or free will to begin with. But I guess if, each hive has its own personal autonomy and we're fucking torturing them, then like, I get it. Like, that is pretty shit.
Anyway, like, I don't want to make it like, because people start getting upset by this kind of stuff.
No, that's fine. Look, if they
in
wanna
my
get upset,
personal
they can get
opinion,
upset.
I do think it's. I don't see how else you would argue that the writers didn't intend for this to be a commentary on. Well, we know it is. The theme is, does the means justify the ends? The ends justify the means. That's what it is.
Yeah.
What's the grey line in what you can do? And that's what Saladin's story is about. I should have killed the girl because it would have saved more people in the future, but I didn't. I showed her mercy, and it resulted in more people dying. So, what's the lesser of two evils is the theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I like, you can see how, and it's not like to excuse it, but you can see why Saladin has the stance that he has, given being bitten that way in the past. So, I don't know. I mean, look, these conversations are always good conversations to have.
Is this not just like Lakshmi and the Fallen, but Saladin and the Hive?
I mean, yeah, to an extent. Does that mean we're preparing for like Hive buddies, or like? Because if so, I'm down. But I don't know.
Can you imagine going to get a ramen and there's like a fucking thrall just sitting on the bench?
As long as it's not one of those ones with a fucking glowy head. Like, 'cause I'm not sitting down next to that. Like, not that I wouldn't want to be friends or anything, but I want to be friends. Like, we can voice call and be friends or whatever. I just don't want to be blown up if, I accidentally bump him or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing, because I'd honestly.
That's what I was confronted with. That's what I was like, oh, okay, this is how I interpret this.
And look, we spoke extensively about this sort of storytelling with Splicer, and we thought it was fucking extremely strong and good. And I guess that I'll eat my humble pie and say that I'd kind of like overlooked it, because I hadn't put the thought into really assessing the Hive in that way, right? Like, I mean, for me, space zombies didn't really worry about it. So maybe this is, that's the purpose of this, is to kind of go, well, I am sure that as we go along, Crow will advance the narrative of maybe, they're not just mindless space zombies after all. They're people.
Savathun isn't. That's the whole point of why we got a backstory.
True, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, our Hive, what she started out as, though? So this is the disconnect for me, is that like she is a very,
I see that, yeah.
She's like a what were they, like krill people or something? I don't know. Like, clearly there is a time when she was before having the worm and becoming Hive, right? I thought Hive was, they were sort of things born of more of the worm and like a made of dead stuff. That was the way I saw it. I'm not sure whether that's based in anything, but that's Log's head canon.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point.
So, look, either way, I'm going to go into next week's cutscene with a bit more of an open mind. And I still don't like Crow. I still want him to shut up every time he speaks, which is basically, look.
Because Saladin's being...
I don't like Saladin either. It's like two characters that I don't particularly give a shit about going... I just want Zavala to come in and go, can you both just shut up? Like a disappointed parent. Pull your fucking heads in. Just get along.
In my opinion, Saladin is taken the character of like the grizzled military leader, right?
Yeah.
He's like, shut up, soldier. Get in there. Get it done. They're not your friends.
Yeah, and look, I mean...
And Crow questions moralities of his orders.
Yeah, and look... in the real world right now, there is so much horrific shit going on that you don't have to see how, like, being a grizzled military leader that doesn't consider the ethics of their actions and is willing to overlook their, you know, the ethics of their actions for the ultimate win is completely fucked too. So, no doubt.
I'm sure this was obviously written and made before.
Oh yeah, look,
before
I know,
the world events.
There is always something that is speaking to this. That's the thing, is that they're underneath it all. It's ultimately human stories. So I will not be surprised at all if we do see sort of further exposition out of this that really fills out the hive and what they are and what they feel and that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking, like, what I'm paying attention to is whether they do reveal if it's painful or not painful, and whether they do, as you said, and reveal that the underlings of Savathun maybe are more intelligent than what we give them credit for.
I mean, to some extent we know that they are, because, like, you know, the more, I mean, when was Crota born? Like, Crota clearly had his own agenda. He's the son of Oryx. Like,
yeah, Crota was speaking. All the daughters were speaking.
And, you know, Dalinkaru and all of that. So there's clearly like a level. So, you know, maybe it is just that they're always capable of that. It's just that their status dictates whether or not they do those things. In which case, what we're doing is fucked. The end. So,
well, it's not necessarily. It's not like, I mean, all war is fucked. It's sort of like, where do you draw the line and be like, well, this is what we need to do to save. This is what we need to do to continue, and we need to gather this intelligence, and that's going to justify doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other side of the coin. Is like you could look at the Scorn in exactly the same way.
You look at the Hive. They said, well, we justify our entire war because we were going to die.
Yeah, and sword logic. If we can kill you, you don't deserve to live. So,
all right,
I mean, to turn around and be worried about, like, you know, hurting that a bit is a bit shit. But I mean, that I guess that's the other side of the coin. Like, if you look at the Scorn, who are effectively the same thing, you know, they're reanimated, but they clearly have thoughts and their own agenda and stuff. And you know,
see, I don't know if they do.
But they do, because there's different.
The Scorn Barons do
exactly the same thing. You know, like you look at all of the Scorn Barons that we face through Forsaken. They are all, you know, they've got their own personalities and stuff. So
the other ones are mindless, though. That is sort of told to us.
Well, that's a different kettle of fish. So fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's a level of effort you need to put into, like, rebuilding something to give it its own agenda.
A brain wrinkle.
Is that what we're going to advocate war crimes for only the smoothest of brains? Because you and I are fucked.
Oh, right. What else we got to talk about?
Not much, honestly. We kind of. That's about it. We can open up chat, and I think we'll give everyone the opportunity to record themselves on YouTube making bold and outlandish claims about what will happen in the raid, and someone will be right, and we'll be like, genius. So here we go.
Let's do that.
Here we go. So look, here you go. Here's your chance on the DDU. This will be uploaded before the raid goes live, so there'll be no cheating. You can predict what you think will happen in the Vow of the Disciple raid, and me and Matt will sit here and tell you whether or not we think they're good or shit or what, indifferent, and probably be completely wrong. So just there you go. Nurgle, the story is ironic with current world. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tragic in a way that it's fallen at a time when this sort of shit is actually happening.
Oh yeah, no leaks.
No leaks. Crispy, honestly, man, I will fucking ban you into oblivion.
I didn't see anything.
I've seen nothing. And I plan on uploading this video and not looking at anything.
You know what? I stopped looking at chat as soon as, did something happen in chat?
No. And I know that we've got a few swords in there that will be very ready to swing if anything does.
The thing is, we need a mod who's actually seen the leaks to ban people who post leaks.
Anything that even looks like a leak. Actually, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, let's stop this idea.
Actually, what's going to happen is if you guess the right answer, we'll fucking ban you forever.
We'll find you. Yeah, we'll find you for being a leaguer.
We'll get bloody Saladin to investigate your brain and decide whether or not you were using leaks to get that information.
So, because I saw Bife, probably the angriest Bife could ever be.
I saw that as well, and I thought, oh shit, that was what frightened me.
Okay, something must be up. People must have found because it's like he's like a dad that never raises his voice, and if he raises his fucking voice,
you know that if he knew the leakers' first names, he would have used them. Like, Michael, that kind of behavior is not acceptable in this house, and you would feel this big on the back of Papa Bife's admonishing. Look, I saw his tweet as well, and I thought, holy fuck, like, no replies allowed to it, just the word of the God from on high. And I mean, you've done pretty well if you've got this far without some dickhead jumping in your chat and saying anything. I can only imagine what the comment sections on his vids and stuff are like at the moment. There'd be people just fucking spewing that sort of shit because I know that it'll upset other people and whatever. Yeah, pretty ordinary.
You want to know a funny story to change the topic?
Of course, yes.
My law school episode with Travel Danielle and Dado, which, by the way, is one of the top performing episodes.
Of course.
Currently sitting on like 60, 70,000 views. Was demonetized because Danielle asked if Fallen have penises in the first 30 seconds.
Surely, but that's not...
It's got to be that. What else could it be?
I don't know, but that's not...
Do you know how many videos have had demonetized, Log?
What, one? I don't know.
0. Ever.
I mean, we've had a few on the podcast. I'm not going to lie. Normally when we come in red hot and there's a few like, hey, dropping C-bombs straight off the bat. I don't even bother trying to monetize those ones. You could probably go and find the real spicy DDU episodes by whether or not they give you an ad beforehand. Like, if there's no ad, you know that, oh shit, this is going to be piping hot. Because it's like, you know, you get that, you got to choose.
Yeah.
And I always sit there because it's like, we say fuck like nobody's business, right? And I'm like, well, did we say fuck in the first 30 seconds? It was probably me talking. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's when we're throwing out the C-bomb left, right, and center that I start.
They don't like the C-bomb.
No, they don't like the C-bomb. And probably fair enough. So that's a sad story. So how about this? Can we talk about your uploading unedited videos today? I feel like you took a step, Matt. You took a step today into relinquishing a bit of control, and I think it's important.
For the first time, and I mean this, probably ever, because even some videos that are pretty close to what I say on Twitch will have a tiny bit of editing in. I'll cut the intro out, or I'll tidy it up, or if there's a bit of a bumble, I'll get rid of it. First time from me pressing start record to end record, I've put the whole video just onto YouTube.
You do that every week on the podcast.
8 years.
You know that right, though. You do it every week on the podcast.
Yeah, but this podcast doesn't earn any money.
True. Well, I mean, it does. Just not very much.
Your
life's not depending on this podcast. Thank fuck. So, I think I've only ever edited one episode of this podcast, and it was a very, very long time ago, and we've grown up a lot since. So, fair enough. All right, well, look, there you go. You've had your chance to fucking have your say on what you think's going to happen in the raid and be right or wrong come tomorrow. You can tweet at us and tell us all about what you think of it. But rock and roll, Matty. Good luck tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, guys, come hit me up with a follow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you saw me and Teft and what's our dynamics,
yeah, I think
it's gonna be a lot of fucking funny.
See, moments. I think look, I liked doing when we did Deep Stone, right? But yeah. I think there's an element of we get very angry at each other. And we get angry at each other in a way that is like,
Nah, I don't know if I get angry at you. You don't get angry. There's other. We know who we're talking about. They're
we
in
get
chat.
we get very angry.
Very angry.
Matt and
Yes.
I are very similar in that way, in that we go from 0 to 100 and we'll just
real
boof.
quick.
But I don't think you're going to be put in that situation with Deft and Watts and the rest of your crew, because they're all really quite nice, considered people. So I think that's a good thing. I think you'll be able to channel your aggression into the game instead of just sort of the headbutting and shit that we do. So I'm looking forward to watching it.
It'll be fun. I'm so pumped. I'm gonna go sort my gear out. Level it up. Be ready.
Be ready. Be prepared. I mean, I'm going to give it a run at some stage tomorrow, but I don't really know what my plan is. I mean, I'm going to be watching. That's living in fear. Uncle Log will be watching. Yeah. I'll be around. Yeah. If you're going to be streaming it, fucking drop a link. Let me know. I'll swing by. I've done that fucking heaps in the past.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so I think that's about it, Matty. What do you reckon? You got any closing comments? See you on the other side of Vow of the Disciple.
Yeah. I'm saying this right now. World's First will have someone with law knowledge, because the last puzzle in a Savathun trickery raid will no doubt be a fucking game show. There'll be a little projector that comes down. Savathun will come out in like a little tux or some sort of like game show ball gown, and then be like, yay, welcome. The last DPS phase is based on a law quiz. And if you don't stand on the like A, B, C plate to answer the multi-choice quiz, dead.
Mr. Electric Nick raises the question of them all. We need to lay down right now anticipated time for completion.
I'm gonna say 8 hours.
8 hours for the first person to get through.
World's First, yep.
World's First, 8 hours.
Yep.
I'm gonna go between 3 and 4 hours.
No.
I think that's the sweet spot.
You know why you're wrong?
I mean, I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
Tell me, Matt, why I'm wrong.
Why am I wrong? I've got a feeling that I'm going to... Hey?
I'll tell you, because weapons and Void 3.0 is so powerful right now. I think they're going to account for that by having a mechanic heavy raid.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'll accept this minor... It's a subnote. It's an exclamation. Let's put an asterisk next to 3.4 hours, because I think that 3 to 4 hours, sorry. I think that like we could definitely, I mean, probably the most mechanic heavy raid we've ever had was Last Wish, and fuck me, it was 24 hours. So, I mean, I don't necessarily want us to end up in a situation.
It's only 24 hours, but you know what? I think I'm thinking like Oryx vibes, you know? I think it's going to be a mechanic raid.
All right. No,
you're gonna have so many. You're gonna have so many tools.
You know what? You're right. You're right, because this is the thing that me and you were talking about. Is like the amount of fucking damage you can put out as a Titan now is just staggering, right? Like the amount of ad control and
even
shit.
20 under is not even that bad.
So what's gonna make it hard? And you're right. It has to be mechanics, or I mean, I guess time is a mechanic in and of itself, but it's gonna be spicy because the ad control is much less of an issue than it has been in the past. Because I mean, you've got like the cold snap thing with Warlocks. They can fucking throw shitloads of them now too. So there's a lot of utility there. Maybe ultimately it's to get more people through. I don't know, but fuck me, now you've scared me. I've got a feeling I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning because I'm not setting an alarm, and everyone's going to be like, everyone's stuck on the first encounter. Fuck this raid. And I'm just going to go, oh, no, I'm not throwing my whole day at this shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I think Deadman raises a very valid point, though, in that, like, people's ability to complete things has come a long way, too, in terms of, like, people know how to break these puzzles down and do them. Well, my other prediction is that we'll probably see a group out of our, the Destiny speedrunning community take it out because they've really risen to the top over the last few new raids. So, I mean, I don't care who wins. Good luck, everyone. That's it.
Right. Can we do a Dick's raid to Travel Danielle? Bit of revenge?
Yeah, all right. What do you want it to say? What do you want everyone to say? Because normally don't do this. Normally we just end the episode. But
will we get like Twitch banned if we do like a Dick's raid? Like, can we say that? Is there an
what about
emote?
fallen penis revenge raid? No, that sounds really bad. That's do Hive have penises raid? Just don't go and write dicks because it'll come across the wrong way.
Yeah, I've already lost some people to like a global ban before for why don't we use worm?
Do worms have worms?
Does the hives have worms and then like winky face?
This is getting very late. You're gonna need to go in right.
Nah, just right. I don't know.
All right. Don't cause too much trouble. We're gonna raid Daniel.
Fallen dicks inbound.
Fallen dicks inbound. There we go. All right. Have a good week and good luck tomorrow. Rock and roll. All right, Maddie. Good luck.
Fuck off.